Well, they have been wrapped because, as once again, there always seems to be a furor around the trans debate, and this
strange that.
I don't know why, but yes, that lesbians are feeling pressured into having sex with trans women, which I always thought was people do try to pressure you into sex in every, whichever way.
It's usually men.
But it's usually men towards women.
And it's men on this occasion.
It is men on this, yes.
But what the BBC did, which was egregious, was they didn't simply report the testimony of these women, they changed the pronouns that we use.
Yeah.
Now, this is a separate thing, and I wanted to talk about that.
But
that's not the complaint. No, that's not the issue at all. This has been basically, the article came out, created a huge furore. Lots of trans activists basically swamped the BBC with complaints saying this is disgusting, this never happens. I have seen multiple examples of trans women making videos saying this is what we want. They've done workshops about it, trying to get lesbians to sleep with trans women, and they call them bigots if they don't.
Yeah.
So it's a ridiculous thing. It's real, it happens. This article is one thing that they're basically saying, so all those complaints went in, they looked at it, and they said there are two things. Well, actually, they said, this article here, The Guardian, is saying they said there were three things. No, they didn't. They came up with two things. The two things are, one is the headline, which actually isn't basically saying it's implying that trans women are trying to pressure women. Well, no, they are. You just have to look online to see that. And the second thing was they quoted a study by a gender-critical activist movement saying that basically the study didn't have enough people. They were questioning lesbians and saying, have you felt coerced into having sex? And they were basically saying that study wasn't big enough to be able to make a grand scheme of things. So they're not actually saying that this stuff is wrong at all, even though trans activists are going to try and pretend that that's the case. But the separate thing, the thing that you're talking about a few days ago was the BBC interviewed these lesbians, and one of the lesbians said that when she was raped, and she's talking about this being raped by this man with a penis, and the journalist changed it, not the original journalist, but the editors or whatever, changed it to a he to a she. So they're changing...
To they, actually, I think.
Oh, to a they. Well, so the point, they changed the words of a rape victim, and that is disgusting.
It's absolutely appalling. But also the idea that, anyone being coerced into sex by any gender is wrong, but for the results of that to be that you're a bigot if you're not coerced
it's very. I mean, this is real
crazy.
It's a very fiercely contested front at the moment, isn't it? Because a big part of the reason for that, I think, is that the trans activist lobby, the pro-trans lobby, not only claiming trans rights and so on, and trans women are women. And
basically, when you ask them, by the way, what trans rights do you want? No one's ever can say anything.
But a big part of their campaign and their project is to present trans people as inevitably the victims in any situation. They are inevitably the marginalised, the vulnerable. In a situation such as this, where a trans woman is essentially coercing and using emotional blackmail, it amounts to. If you won't sleep with me, you're as good as telling me I'm not a real woman.
Yeah.
How do you want that on your conscience?
And
it's that kind of element.
That's exactly what it is.
The accusation of being a TERF and all the things that come with that, when people just throw out the word race, is the stain on people's characters.
Can I just say one final thing, that Stonewall have changed the definition of homosexuality to same gender attracted, not same sex attracted. And lots of lesbians and gay men are going, whoa, wait a minute, I'm not same gender attracted, I like the bodies.
Yeah.
And let's just not pretend that that's not the case.
Fair play.